Since the blade is well below 400 degrees, dropping it in the water like that is not going to affect the final grain size because I'm well below martensite finish. I didn't like that. Okay. So there's our blade. First thing I'm going to do is knock this bolster down to size. Belt is there. But I got to scale all for us. Let's put it away. Come this way. Bring the belt. And ready for it. Let's check a few things here, shall we? Right here at the bolster, I've got 0.14 inches. And that'll get a little bit smaller as we polish. 0.11, 0.089, 0.078, 0.05, 0.03 out at the tip. So our tapers are about where we want them. On the edge, I've got 0.03, 0.03, 02, 02, yeah, about 02 all at the tip. So my edge is the same thickness from here to here and then starts to taper. Now, this is odd for me because in Bowie knives and hunting knives that I've done so far, you don't want any difference in the edge down the length. But I have been enlightened that with chef's knives, I want it a little thicker here, about medium here, and really thin here. So I didn't know that, so that's what we're going for here. But I've still got lots and lots of meat in that edge to get that where I want it to be. My final edge is going to be about 0.009, 0.007, 0.00, probably 5. So, but what I'm going to do now, because I've got the tapers and everything about where I think they're going to be, I'm just going to take a little bit more meat out of the blade after we heat treat. What I'm going to do now is drop this in the acid for just a couple seconds and see if we've got wrought iron covering our edge. Because if we do, then we have a whole lot of wasted time. But I don't think that's the case. So let's do that real quick. This PVC tube right here is just full of ferric chloride and water solution. It's a 1 to 5 solution. Ferric chloride is the 1 and water is the 5. And this is really good for etching blades. Oh yeah. Give me just a second and I'll show you. Okay, you see the dark, let's see, get this light right. You see the dark right here? That's 52-100, right there. Some spots of it up there. I've obviously got some wrought iron lapping my edge up there. And I've got nice 52-100 showing pretty much everywhere here except for right out at the tip and right here at the heel. So I'll have to, I'll have to grind selectively to make that show up. But that's going to be a really kicking little blade here real quick. So, now what we do, after we poke ourselves in the hand with the tip, which is very tippy and pointy, ow. Now what I'm going to do is take this blade, and I'm not going to do anything else to it until after it's heat treated. So I'm going to set up my heat treat furnace. I don't want to get too thin before I heat treat for a variety of reasons, all of them not so good. So that's as thin as I'm going to let it get before I heat treat. You can see the blade right there, and something that is very important with chef's knives is board contact. So what we're going to do here is show how that profile works. Not too happy with that. See, there's a little belly rock right there at the right there. So I need to flatten that out some. I think overall I've got too much belly in that edge. So I'm just going to flatten out that overall profile some when I get it out of heat treat. But it's good enough for now. We're not gonna mess with it until after heat treat. And there we go. Real quick, I've got 29 centimeters. Wow, that's significantly longer than I thought it was. And right at 65, let me get some light on that. Right at 65 millimeters, right there. You see the 29. So I think that's a little longer than we really wanted, but what the hey, we're going to go for it. And it's definitely a little taller than I really wanted, but I think overall the knife looks very proportional. it's just really big. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I can always make it smaller. It's hard to make it much bigger. So, that's that. And we're going to get our heat treat furnace set up and ready to rumble. There we go. Seems to be running reasonably well. Temperature be up there where you can see it. All right. Okay, and all I've done here is taken wire tied this to the end of a bar so that I can stick it in my furnace and not have to fool with tongs and all that silly fun. There we go. So now we just let that come up to heat. Waiting, waiting, waiting. What I'm planning to do here is Alright, here we are at temperature. Oh, pretty close to temperature. Moves around a little bit. Anyways, at 1550 degrees. We've been coasting along here for a few minutes. And about to... I just did something wrong. Come on now. About to quench it into our Parks 50. So, now it's important that that I don't waste any time getting it from the heat into the oil, because that tip will take just seconds to get too cool for this to work. So I need to kind of bump it up. So, we're ready? Fascinating, isn't it? Exciting. Pretty straight. See how there's oil standing on the blade? That tells me that I'm below martensite start, but I probably haven't quite got to martensite finish yet, which is for this steel right around 400 degrees. And I've noted that the tip is just a little off, curved off just a little bit. Now, as long as I do this before the blade gets below martensite finish, I can do all kinds of stuff to this steel to get it back to straight, and I'm safe. If, however, I wait until after martensite finish, then I've really got to let the steel temper before I do anything. So, see how the smoking is slowing down and stopping? I can't really do any more tweaking and straightening. I don't think I need to. I think I'm pretty darn straight. But if I do anything else, I'm taking a really big risk of cracking my blade. So, we're going to take it off of its little thing here real quick, just for front of it. I don't really put much stock in this test. But the file test says that I'm at least marginally hard, so that's good. Don't drop it right there. That would be bad. And we'll go set that in my oven, which is already preheated to 300 degrees, and move along.